Hey, this is Anant. Welcome to another video on this channel. Today, I'd like to talk about promises in JavaScript. If you think promises in JavaScript are like promises in real life, you would be right. It's exactly like that, but with a lot more JavaScript involved. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at some theory behind it. So what is a promise? A promise represents the result of an asynchronous operation. So what is an asynchronous operation, you ask? It's an operation that runs separately from the main thread and allows other tasks to proceed without having to wait for this operation to complete. Now, since this operation takes its own sweet time, we do not know what its value is at the time of creation. We just know that it promises to return a value sometime in the future. And much like promises in real life, it will fail and let you down. Anyway, a promise is in one of these states. It could be pending, which is the initial state. It's neither fulfilled nor rejected. It could be in the fulfilled state, meaning the operation completed successfully, or it could be rejected, meaning the operation failed. Simple enough. So a pending promise is said to be settled when it's fulfilled with a value, or it's rejected with a reason, which means it errors out. All right, that's enough theory. Let's take a look at some code now. Okay, so I promised my roommate that I'd get milk today. So I'm going to put it in writing by writing a function. Okay, so let's see, function get milk. Right, now this function is going to return a promise. Okay, and this callback initializes the promise, and this callback takes two arguments, a resolve and reject. The resolve callback resolves the promise with a value, and the reject rejects the promise with a reason or an error. Okay, so we're going to be in this function, I'm going to be driving to the store. So it's log driving the store. Okay. I'm also going to assume that the store is open equals true. And I'm also going to assume that there's a 4-liter bag of milk waiting on the shelf just for me. Okay. Bag. Okay. Now I'm going to write code to pick up the milk if the store is open. Okay, store is open. What do we do? We're going to resolve our promise. Okay. But if it's closed, I also need to handle the possibility of the store being closed. So I'm going to reject, saying, sorry, store closed. Okay. Now, let's say it takes 2 seconds to drive to the store. So I'm going to put this in a set timeout. Okay. So let's do this, and yeah, I'm going to put this block inside a set timeout. And okay, it takes 2 seconds to drive to the store, right? So now I also need to write code to handle, a promise is settled when it's either fulfilled with a value or rejected with an error. So I need to write functions that handle these cases, okay? And it's really complicated, so I'm just going to copy paste them. Okay, there. We have a function to handle a fulfilled promise with a value, and we have a function to handle the rejected promise with an error. Okay, now I'm going to write a main function that serves as an entry point to the program. So let's announce to the console that our program is starting. Okay, now let's do what we set out to do, get milk. Okay, now we're going to chain a then method to handle the fulfilled promise. And a catch method to handle the rejection. Okay. Well, let's go get that milk by calling the main function. Okay. As you can see, we're starting, we're driving to the store, and yay, our mission is successful. We got ourselves a 4-liter bag of milk. This was because the store was open and the promise was resolved. Now, what happens if the store is closed? Let's see. Let's go set the variable that holds the store open state to false. Okay. Now the store is closed. So we drove to the store and our mission failed. With our error message, sorry, store was closed. Okay. So what did we learn today? We learned how to create a promise. We learned how to write a function that returns a promise. We learned how to chain the then and the catch methods. The then handles the fulfilled promise, and the catch handles the rejection. That's all for today. There's a lot more to promises, which I'll cover in the next video. Catch you later. Au revoir.